Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about a little bit of No Man's Sky. And if you're playing the game and you feel a little bit lost and you just don't know what to do or where you're supposed to go and you just aren't sure exactly how you're supposed to play the game, this video is going to help you out a little bit. We're going to offer a couple little tips and tricks and things that might make your experience in No Man's Sky a little bit more fun, a little bit more enjoyable. To start off, No Man's Sky is a huge, absolutely massive exploration game. And it doesn't function the same way as some of the other games we're used to, where we constantly have waypoints and all these different side quests and missions and vendors and people we're supposed to talk to. It has some of those same tropes, but it's a little bit different. When you first start the game, it can be a little intimidating. You're just there with your broken spaceship and you just have to start exploring and figuring things out on your own. So the first thing I want to show are these beacons. These beacons are really special, really useful. When you first approach them, and you can see them pretty well when you're flying around your spaceship over one of the planets, you'll see this yellow beam of light. Go up to it, and if you have the resources you need, just open up your inventory, and in your exosuit, you can actually craft a bypass chip. On most of the planets, the resources you need to make a bypass chip are pretty regular. They should be just about everywhere. A little bit of plutonium, a little bit of iron. Make your bypass chip, and now when you approach this beam, you can actually insert the bypass chip and select one of the four choices to actually put a waypoint somewhere on the map, a location that you might not have found yet, and they'll guide you to something special. You can do this multiple times too. You can do it as much as you like. You can make as many bypass chips as materials that you have and keep putting waypoints on your map. I find it best to just go with 3 or 4 at first, if not 1, because it does get a little bit frustrating seeing all of these special waypoints all over the map and trying to figure out where you have to go next. Now, each of these waypoints is going to offer something special. The monoliths are going to give you more of the alien language. That's going to teach you more words. The shelters are key. They're the ones that I did first, and I think a lot of players, if you're struggling with inventory, if you feel like you're constantly collecting resources and you don't know where to put them all and you're constantly deleting things, the shelters are probably the ones you're going to want to start off with. Select that bottom selection, shelter. What it's actually going to do is either going to give you a regular shelter or a drop pod. Drop pods are fantastic. These are the little ships that you jump into, and you'll be able, if you have enough currency, if you have enough of the money, the units, you can actually upgrade your spacesuit, your little exosuit. By spending the currency, and it goes up in increments each time, you're actually going to be able to add one more inventory spot to your spacesuit. That is huge, especially at the beginning of the game when you constantly feels like you're collecting more resources than you have storage space. So if you feel really lost in No Man's Sky and you're struggling to figure out what you have to do next on a planet, find one of these beacons, put a bypass chip in, and then take whatever path you want at that time. If you want to work on your language skills, go get monoliths. If you want more storage space, select shelters and hope to get drop pods. And I'd say just have fun with the game. It's an exploration game. Just run around, see what the planets are like. Hopefully, if you find a good planet that's not too hostile, I personally got really lucky with the first couple planets I was on. They didn't have any of the negative status effects. I didn't have acid rain or the extreme heat, the extreme cold, the radiation. I had planets that were very comfortable. They just had no issues. And that made it so much easier for me to actually get out of my spaceship and just click the scan button and run around and look for anything that was in the area. But if you're feeling lost, find one of these patrol beacons, put in a chip, and then it'll actually give you something specific to work for. And that's good to have an actual specific goal. Thank you all so much for watching. We're going to have more No Man's Sky coming out, especially with more updates and as the game gets bigger. And if you enjoyed the video, like, share, and subscribe.